Mana, surrender and Nama. By Srila Gurudev Nitya Lila Pavishtam Vishnupada Brahman Sarvacharya Astotana Sutta Srimad Bhakti Vaibhav Guru Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Manmana Bhava Mat Bhakto Madhyarimam Namaskuru Mam Vaishyasi Satyam De Padijani Priyosimi. It's a shloka from the Bhagavad Gita. Meaning is Mat Bhakto, be my devotee. Krishna speaking this to Arjuna. Madhyaji Bhava, worship me. Mam Namaskuru, serve me. Namaskuru means Namaskaram, and the real meaning of Namaskaram is to surrender. I fell prostrated before you, I fall prostrated before you. I surrender to you. You should bless me. I give up my ego and offer this body to you. My mind belongs to you. Everything belongs to you. I am yours. All the universes are yours. You are the Supreme Master. If we do this, then our surrender will be complete. So the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita say that the mind should always remember the Lord. That we should always speak about devotion to the Lord, His names, His leelas and His gunas. We should always repeat the glories of the Supreme Lord. Then your bhajan or worship will start. Service means not only doing things with the hands, but with the mind. The mind must be given to Him, must be offered to His feet. This is service. Then He will bless us. This mana is independent now. It does not surrender. It preserves the ego, but that ego must disappear. When you surrender, that ego will disappear. Then you will be happy, you will enjoy peace. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So what is that Shanti? Shanti means one who will have no desires, who will give up all desires. Only then can one enjoy peace. But how to give up all desires? This is the problem. One cannot give up all desires. Desires are not created by him, but they depend upon his past activities that force him to think about things with which we had a relationship previously. Now he cannot destroy this relationship. He speaks about the mind. How to give up all desires. This is the problem. One cannot give up all desires. Desires are not created by him, by the Lord, but they depend upon his past activities. that forced him to think about some things which he had a relationship previously. So this is what makes us or keeps us here in this mundane conception, our desire, our previous relationships. Now he cannot destroy these relationships. They come from the past life in this life. So we may remember heavenly situations, hellish situations, but they are there. Gradually that mana, mind, should become weaker and weaker. Now it is the most powerful. The physical body can be destroyed. It cannot survive for a long time. But the mana, or mind, will survive. Although this physical body will become weak, the mana will not become weak, it will remain strong. How to weaken it? How to divert its enjoyment, spirit, its desires? Everything must be diverted towards the service to Lord Krishna. You cannot destroy mana, the mind. Mana will remain and will destroy you. Then it will take another body, mana, buddhi, ahankara. These three things will always take rebirth. Means the mind, the intellect, and the wrong identification, ahankara. I identify with this mind, I identify with buddhi, intellect. So mana will remain and will destroy you. Then it will take another body. Mana, buddhi, ahankara. These three things will always take rebirth. 100,000 of crores of births. It is impossible to calculate. No one knows about it. Everybody is under the influence of Maya, of this illusory energy. What happened last week, I cannot remember. What has happened last year by this time, I also cannot remember. How can I remember previous births? I have no remembrance at all. We have to adjust ourselves to the present situation and remember the Lord, the Supreme Lord, Krishna. We should always read about Krishna's activity from the beginning of his life. He was in this world for 125 years, from his birth up to his disappearance. He performed so many sublime leelas. If we talk and hear about those pastimes, then we can achieve perfection. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Arjanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. Ide Bumsha Pita Vishnu Bhaktis Jannava Lakshano Priyate Bhavatya Dha Tatmanye Ditti Uttamam. It's from Srimad Bhagavatam. We have these 9 types of bhakti. To hear, to utter, to remember, to offer prayers, to do service, to perform arjanam, to think of him as our master, and ourselves as his servants, to think of Krishna as our eternal friend, our eternal master, and to submit to him. Atmanivedanam means offering ourselves completely. So there are 9 types of bhakti. We can practice only 1 or 2 types, or all combined. It depends on our energy. 1 type is to always hear the glories of Krishna, and this is sufficient. When we have the physical capacity of hearing, day and night one can speak, and another can hear. That listening is also a type of bhakti. If you listen, no other activity is necessary. Always do your daily service and always listen to the glories of Krishna. And after hearing, you have to repeat it. Of course, you may have some difficulties or disgust for repeating, but in hearing, you don't find such difficulties. You can always be happy listening to the sound. This sound is called Shabda Brahma. Our name is Shabda Brahma. This is the sound to hear, not the sound produced by the ether and the air. Krishna is Shabda Brahma, Rama is Shabda Brahma, Hari is Shabda Brahma, because there is no difference between the Nam and the Rupa. Rupa means form of the... Because there is no difference between Nam and Rupa both are one. If you repeat Krishna, 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 the same Krishna who is standing in the temple, the same Krishna who appeared 5,000 years ago in Mathura, the name Krishna and the form Krishna, both are one. But in the case of worldly names, there's difference between the name and the form. But when we speak of Shabda Brahma, there's no difference between Shabda and Shabdi, Nam and Nami, Vaja and Vajaka. Both are one. If one is repeating Nam, Haryanama, 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 Kevalam, it is the surest, the simplest way to obtain the sublime state of our purification. To obtain the lotus feet of Krishna, we should repeat the Shabda Brahma. Shabda Brahma is also transcendental sound. This kind of sound is not different from the object, what they sound. Like Krishna, Ram, Hari, it is the form and it is the sound. They are one and the same. We may not have realized this, we are not on this level. Our level is eating and sleeping. not only, but yes, the material world is like this. To obtain the lotus feet of Krishna, we should repeat this Shabda Brahma. And it will purify us, and we will realize that the form and the name, the sound, is no different from the form and from the pastimes. Everything manifests. Namna Makari Bahuda Nityashava Shaktistata Pitani Metasmaranena Kala Edadishita Bhagavan Papi Tudeva Midisham Vihajani Nanulaga. This is Shikshastakam, second shloka. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave us Shikshastakam, 8 shlokas, on the efficacy of the Nam Sankirtan. Chetutarpanamajanam Mahadavagni Nivarvanam Shayakairam Chandika Vidaranam Vidaranam Anandam Murivaranam Patipatam Pramrita Swaranam Savatmasna Paramvaram Vijayade Shri Krishna Sankirtana. This is the first Haituki Bhakti. Through Krishna Kirtan we can reach all our goals. You can receive the full fruit of uttering Nam. But that fruit is not found in the material world. It is in the spiritual world. There's no difference between a Nam and its effect. So what is Satya? The result, if you perform Nam Sadhana, what is the result when you perform Nam Sadhana? Nama and Sadhana are both one. If you repeat Nam throughout your day or all your life, what will you achieve? You will get nothing material. Sorry. You're sitting here and will not get anything enjoyable.
You will lose all material.
If it is proper chanted, if it's not pure chanted, you will get all your material desires fulfilled also. But this is something like a criminal act. You will be bound to this material world and you will not get free, you will not get out. You are in prison. You will get nothing material, only Nam Kirtan. Bhakti will give you Bhakti. Service will give you what? Service, yes. More service. So don't do too much service. The real devotee, he wants to do always more, and he's lamenting. I'm so limited, I cannot do. So you will get nothing material, only Nam Kirtan Bhakti will give you Bhakti. Service will give you service. Nobody does service without expecting anything in return. If anybody does some service, it means he wants some remuneration. So what profit do you want? Bhaktas don't want anything. Nadanam nadanam dasundarim kavidam vajagadisha kamai mama janmani janmanishwari bhavadat bhakta haitukhitai. Mahaprabhu says, I want only bhakti. I want only to chant your name. I'm not anxious to receive any other remuneration from you. I have no desire for wealth or power. I want only Nam. I want only Haituki Bhakti. So what is Bhakti? Bhakti means service for the sake of service. This sort of Bhakti is called Haituki Bhakti. Doing service without any physical or mental desires for financial gains, for jnanam, or for bodily comforts. Are there any human beings who can perform bhakti like this? Very few. There are very few bhaktas who do not want anything from the Lord. But many people are worshipping the Lord for dharma, artha, kama, moksha. And if somebody does not want dharma, artha, and kama, he wants moksha. So we don't even want that moksha. Moksha means to be relieved. Dharma, artha, and kama means some wealth, some sort of worldly happiness, material benefits, material success, some material matter. People want to possess all of this. By sacrificing matter, you get matter. This is called artha. And this will give you happiness, enjoyment in this body. This is the material consciousness. This is about matter. Moksha means you want to be freed. But this is only selfishness. You want to be relieved from the influence of Maya. It's just like when you go to hell. Even you want heaven, but it will always end. Material world means hell. Death, birth, disease, old age, all these things. But it's only selfishness when you want to go out of this, because you suffer. You come to the conclusion, I am working so hard for a little few minutes of pleasure. So I want to be free, moksha. I want to be relieved from the influence of Maya. So why is this not the ultimate goal? Because it's also selfishness. I want to be free. I want to enjoy that I am free now of these things. So you want to discard this avidya and achieve jnanam. This is called vidya. But this cannot give you real happiness unless you do service to the Lord. So what is happiness? Happiness means that one should always possess this ananda. Happiness means this should be always on your side. Ananda means service, not ananda in itself. That selfish ananda is different. So when I want to attain ananda, happiness, and with the attitude of selfishness, that I want to be the enjoyer of kama, artha, kama, moksha. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Then it is selfishness. You will not experience real happiness. You will get some neutral state. So happiness means that one should always possess this ananda. Ananda means service, not ananda in itself. The selfish ananda is different. Ananda in the service of Supreme Lord is different. We should strive to achieve that to get the real benefit. Mahaprabhu says, I always request you, my Lord, to please bless me with bhakti. So let us have the same request at the feet of the Vaishnavas, at the feet of Gauranga Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, at the feet of the Supreme Lord and the Vaibhav, Yuha, and Hamsa avatars, to the Purna avatars, Krishna and Balaram. We also pray for the same thing. We want their blessings. We want this bhakti which can engage us throughout this lifetime and also in the future. Whatever life I will get according to my past karma, in that life also let me be engaged in the service of Supreme Lord, whether as a human being or as a creature or as an insect. Whatever may be the body, that body should have the eternal connection with this bhakti or the bhaktas. Without the association of the bhaktas, we cannot achieve bhakti. So that bhaktas association is necessary. Any comments or any question on this? Everything clear? Amen. He lives in his world. He lives in his universe. He's a heavenly planet with angels. But he's in a good way. He's making seva. He's very fortunate. Gauranga Nityananda will bless him.
Pray for us also, Maharaj.
I think you got already a blessing. I think it's translating some.
Question is coming.
Yeah.
Better to start earlier, Like he start now, then it's still time.
Yeah, but I have to say something that he can ask. So I have to formulate it different. I have to go and because we hardly can argue with Gurudev. What we hear is Gurudev's words. Then we immediately are discovered that we are Mayavadis. Okay, we have time. So Gurudev was reading from Chaitanya Bhagavat in Vrindavan, 97. I was there. 97, I was with Gurudev in Vrindavan. Far out.
Many devotees complain that they have been doing devotion service for 10 years and have not seen or feel anything interesting. They have been bound for many years and cannot change their conception because they would throw away their whole life. What to do?
Some brahmacharis had, in the time of Bhakti, Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, had the same problem. We are practicing now for so many years, 10 years, I think, 15 years or so. But we have not attained anything. And they came to Prabhupada and told him, we have not got anything. We have not made advancement. What did he say?
So did you really think like this? Do you really think like this? And I say yes. And he said, then you have faith. And if you continue like this, that you practice
Yeah.
without any expectation and anything.
Yes, then you're on the right way, he says. You have to just go on. Don't think that it's so cheap. You have to go on. Why you're still here 10 years? If nothing comes back. It's the Lord's blessing. How can one practice 10 years, 15 years? How is it possible? And you're still here. This is the blessing of the Lord. Something you got, but we cannot see what it is really. We have not the eyes yet. He's writing another question, and we need some. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. 16 rounds now. It's finished? What?
You got to answer.
Oh, the conclusion was Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Anyway, is anything more? We'll say because we have only Nam and Vaishnava Aparad. We're here tomorrow. So,
Maharaj, you can say how was it 97 there at that time when you were there?
when I came there, it was like I'm entering Vaikuntha, the spiritual world. And I didn't want to go anymore. It was such a great moment when I saw Gurudev first time. I immediately feel that now I have reached. Now I have Krishna. It was like this. I was rejected by all my former friends in the other movement I was before. I asked them if they could find a cheap place in Vrindavan, but nobody had time. I wanted to speak to some, but they said, no time, in 1 month you ask me again. Something like this. Even I was Puchari with one another, he was Indian, living now in Vrindavan. But he had a family, he was not interested, but no friends, everyone nothing one. And in the evening I would walk down the street to my small room I had there. And I thought, now everything is lost. I have no one here. And I was quite sad. Nobody wants to be with a beggar because I was living like a beggar. So then I was chanting, and then I realized somebody told, but you have the name, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And it was such a wonderful thing with the name. And I saw Radharani blessing coming. Next day I went to the inside, and I went to Seva Kunj to make parikram in the old temples. And there I saw, opposite Seva Kunj entrance, there was a mott or a temple. And I was looking inside, and some few Westerners also sitting there. And I was becoming inquisitive, but they thought, this is Gaudiya Math. If they see me to go in there, they will maybe. So I was looking left, right, sneaking in, and I sit in the complete bag. And Guru Maharaj was reading Chaitanya Bhagavata there. I was so fascinated. And I was soaked in this lila. He spoke. I was inside. And he checked it also somehow. He looking. English, yes. And yeah, in this way, I saw that suddenly he manifested some symptoms I never saw. He started crying and voice choked sometimes, but he controlled it very much. And I was just not anymore in Vrindavan. No, I was just entering this lila. He was reading Gaur Lila, like Chaitanya Bhagavata. There's many stories are there. Then it was beginning of Kartik month. I was already living, I don't know, 8 months in Vrindavan, something like this. Yes, and then the rest of Kartik, I was coming every day. Nrsimha Maharaj was there with Prabhupada Kripa also. So I met him, and I told him that I am going to see in the evening this great saint. And he came also, yes. And in this way, so we are Then he went back to Austria, and I stayed in Vrindavan, but Guru Maharaj went back to Puri. It had become very cold in Vrindavan. So I got very sick. I had a room without windows, and the water was running down the walls. So I became very sick, and no heating systems also this time, no. So I thought I have to go. Vrindavan is winter time, too cold. So I went to Mayapur. And Mayapur also cold in the night time, right? So I thought, now I go to Puri. And Guru Maharaj was there. So I got his darshan, and there, in a few days my health was again okay. So like this is how I met my Gurudev. And next week on Tuesday is his divine appearance, Avirbhava. So we will celebrate like every year, and we expect some disciples coming from different countries to take part of this festival. Chaitanya Nitai Ki Jai. Jai Srila Gurudev Nitya Leela Pravishtam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Vigacharya Stota Sasi Srimad Bhakti Vaibhava Puri Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Thi Nitai Gaura Pramanandi Vanchakalpatarubhyascha